Hi, it's Greg, and today I would like to talk about 7 rules to keep your HubSpot portal well organized and optimized for your growth. We all agree that HubSpot is a powerful tool to organize your database and to automate your sales and marketing process. But if you don't keep this portal clean, it will really impact negatively your productivity and your way of dealing with your data. So that's why I put together the 7 most important rules, in my opinion, to keep it clean and to make your work efficient every day. The first rule is to define who can do what in your HubSpot portal. The thing is, if everyone can do whatever he wants on your portal, he will just do the thing that seems the most easy for him and don't care about the global coherence of your portal. Let's say I'm working in the marketing team and I want to launch a landing page with a form and I want to collect this specific information. I will create my own form, my own landing page, and I will start collecting data. So it will end up with a lot of lost opportunities. The idea is to make sure everyone only do what is supposed to do on the portal. But I'm not the one that's dealing with all the automation and how the data is sent to the sales team. So maybe I will not use a good property or I will not use a good form. So basically I will collect data that are unusable for the sales team. To do that is really easy. You just go to your settings in the user and team tab, and you will see on this page all the tabs at the top of the page will allow you to create teams, permission sets, and to assign specific pay seats if needed. Once you define the action field of every single person of your company, just apply it on these settings and you will be sure to limit the risk of not having a coherent portal. The second rule is to create a nomenclature for all your marketing assets. Basically, more you will grow, more you will create lists, emails, workflows, campaigns, and whatever. And more you create assets without having a nomenclature, it will be really hard for you to just find it back, like in a month or 2 months or something, and you will end up creating new mails and new mails and new lists and new lists that you already created before. It's not that bad, but if you do that for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you will end up with a lot of junk assets that will make the navigation in your portal really bad, and you will end up with losing a lot of time by dealing with all these junk assets. The nomenclature I'm using is following like a folder logic. If you take this email name, for instance, you will see that it's following a certain logic. First, this mail is for the French market, so I start my name with FR. Then it's a mail that aims to be a nurturing email for a specific campaign, so I will add nurturing. It's a nurturing email for a service that is consulting, so I add it here. And then it's the nurturing workflow for new qualified leads. So that's the last part of my nomenclature, and after I just put the name of the email is the first mail, so I call it welcome email. So that's an example for email name, but you need to apply this nomenclature for all your different marketing assets, such as list, workflow, email, campaigns, etc. So using this kind of nomenclature will give you 2 main advantages. The first one is you can be sure you can find any single assets in a second. And the second advantage is that all your colleagues, like other HubSpot users or even newcomers, will instantly understand what this content is supposed to be used for. The third rule is to use the folder feature of HubSpot. In HubSpot, for lists, workflows, email, etc., you can organize your assets in folders and subfolders. Now that if you apply my second rule of nomenclature, you realize that you can just use the same logic to create folders and subfolders. So if we take back this nomenclature example of this specific nurturing email I just told you, we can organize our email folders such as first part, country, so let's say FR. In the FR folder, we can put all the different type of content. So we have a folder. In the folder FR, we have nurturing folder, then consulting folder, then new qualified lead folder, which is the name of the campaign. And in this folder, you will find all the mail of the sequence. By doing so, you will have all the content at the good place, everyone know which content to use for which sequence, and you reduce the risk of making errors by using the wrong content for your campaigns. The fourth rule is for HubSpot descriptions. More your portal will grow, more you will create custom properties and workflows. You might think, it's okay, when I create a property, I know what I create and what for. And when I create a workflow, I know how it's supposed to be used and what it's supposed to do. The thing is, if another user wants to find this information, he will need to ask you, and it will result in in the best way a lot of time, and in the worst way he will not ask you, and he will just like use what you think is used for, and it will maybe create a lot of issues in your database. Especially if, for instance, you have like two properties that have a similar name, and like the marketing guy will not know which one to use. That's why every time you create a new asset, such as properties or workflows, you can add a simple description that is only seen in the HubSpot portal to help your collaborators to understand what you did and how they should work with the new assets you create for them. It takes only a second to do so, and it can save you a lot of time by fixing some potential mistakes. Now let's talk about property types. You know, when you create a custom property, HubSpot allows you to choose between a lot of different property types, such as single line text, drop-down menu, calendar, files, numbers, etc. So it's important to understand that each property type comes with their advantage and disadvantage. And it's really easy when you don't really know about it to use the wrong type of property. My favorite example is the country region property of HubSpot. Natively, when you create your account, you will have the country region property created by HubSpot, which is a single line text. And it can be really tempting to use this property in a form to ask your leads where they are coming from. The thing is, if you do that, you will not have a consistent database, and you will never be able to use this property to segment your database. Why? Because it's a single line text property. So basically you let the possibility to your leads to write whatever they want. So imagine they come from England, they can write England, UK, United Kingdom, GB, Great Britain, even some mistyping mistakes, and you will end up with an infinity of values for the same countries. So basically you can't be able to be 100% sure you segment all the UK leads. Instead of using this native property, you can create custom properties, drop-down menu, and upload the list of all the countries on this property. So basically, when you ask where you're coming from, they open a list and they choose United Kingdom, and you're sure that all your leads come with the same value for the country. So when you come to create a new custom property, just take 5 seconds to make sure it's the best way to collect this specific data. The next rule will ask you to be creative and to know how to deal with workflows, because all the process and automation you will do in your portal will evolve through time. Let's say in 2022 you have some specific information you need to qualify your leads, and it evolves in 2023. So basically on a form you will not ask the same thing now because you don't need the same kind of information. You create a new form, and now you have to automate your lead qualification based on these new criteria. That's good. You create new forms, new workflows to automate your qualification leads, and then new mails to send some nurturing sequences. The thing is, maybe you will forget this specific landing page with this old form, and some leads will get generated on your portal but will never be qualified because they don't match the new enrollment triggers. This situation might not feel like it will happen to you, but trust me, more you will evolve your HubSpot portal, more automation you will create, more process you will put in place, the harder it will be to monitor the health of your database. That's why you need to create a workflow that the only goal will be to monitor the health of your database. You just need to define all the different properties that a lead should have when it comes to the portal, and all the different workflows it should be enrolled in, and make a workflow that will track if this situation happened, this property is known, yes, no. I haven't shot the video presenting my own system, but once it will be released, you will find now on the top right corner a link to this specific system and how to implement it in your portal. And the last rule is to clean your database every quarter. Even though I think it's really important to follow these 6 previous rules on a daily basis, when some business priorities come in, you might not want to take the time to make sure you check the description, you put the good name of this specific workflow or list, etc. But it's important that at the beginning of each quarter, you take all your marketing assets and check, am I following the good rules to keep my portal well organized and clean? If yes, all good. If no, just take the time to clean it. And especially if you did some campaign that was specific to last quarter, let's say you have like some Christmas campaign events and you have created some Christmas lists and Christmas emails, you might not use them anymore. So you can just delete it, archive it, and make sure all the relevant content is present on your portal, and that's it. That was my 7 rules on how to keep a HubSpot portal organized and optimized for your growth. I hope it was clear enough. If you liked it, just put a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the channel to be sure you don't miss any new release. And if you want to go deeper in your HubSpot understanding and the way to automate your marketing and sales process within HubSpot, I create a private web page in Notion called the Workflow Box. In this page, you will find all the workflows I presented on my different channels and a dedicated page for each one of them. On each page, you will find a video tutorial, a detailed blog post that gives more context about how to use this workflow, and a to-do list action plan that gives you step-by-step everything you need to do to apply this workflow to your portal and make sure you don't miss anything. So if it's something that might interest you, just go to the description below, there is a link, fill a form, and I will see you there. I hope you enjoyed this video, I wish you a great week and see you next Monday.